This is going very well. I want to arm wrestle.
That's the only really fair way to resolve
Richard Hatch and Brent should box, I think.
Oh, good.
Well, it's been great. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you. Is there a moderator? If you are more of a Star Trek fan than Galactica, raise your hand.
Get out.
I was hoping for a little more than that. If you're predominantly Galactica more so than Star Trek,
Ding ding in this corner. Us.
How depressing is that?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you bigger fans of Fox News or Comedy Central?
Isn't that the same thing? One is funny.
One
is
by
funny.
Karl Rove.
I guess it's always...
Is there a moderator or is this just mud wrestling?
The mediator, the guy dressed like Star Trek.
You know what, let me just ask. I'd like to address this to all the Battlestar Galactica people. Can you just tell me, like, all about your show, how it develops, the history, and the characters, which your favorite episodes, and I don't know about Brent, but I would love to know any anecdotes like that happen, anything like that. But I would love to hear, okay? So, whoever wants, I'd like to hear one at a time on that.
I've got Ron Moore on the line. Gates has a question for you.
You know, I know this is supposed to be a competition between the two, but I think Battleship Galactica is one of the greatest.
I think Lauren Green still looks great, too.
Who thinks Data should be the final Cylon? I just got your work, my friend. I just got your work. I didn't know that there was going to be alcohol at DragonCon. I got in last night and somebody put booze in my drink. Somebody put booze in my vodka. I need this coffee. Somebody ask something for the love of God. Kevin Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
ladies and gentlemen, Silent Bob.
Has it been an hour yet?
I'm just going to pass this, and I'd like everyone to give me their autograph on this, and then I'm going to auction mine. No,
Well, I think if there's going to be any wrestling or versus going on, I think that the Star Trek should supply the music.
The silent theme song.
Question.
Thank you, Zanetto. Well, I suppose the premise of this panel is that Star Trek, which has been around for a couple of, generations by now, is the bright, shiny, clean, happy, optimistic vision of the future where there is no conflict between characters, everybody gets along unless the bad guys come across the neutral zone or something like that. And we all know that the writers of the various Star Trek series have complained for a long time that without that dramatic conflict, it makes it difficult for them to write stories. But in the end, the good guy always wins. Flash forward to the newly imagined BattleStar Galactica, the series starts off, the bad guys win. And
Whoa. Back the truck up just a second there. Who thinks Cylons are bad guys? Who thinks maybe the humans are a little bit of bad guys? Thank you.
Except for that
It's now
whole genocide.
panel the moderator.
Apart from the genocide, they're lovely people.
Okay, thank you, Aaron.
Best panel ever.
There is clearly conflict between characters in Galactica series. Galactica is the darker, grittier version of science fiction that we were promised that Deep Space Nine would be, but eventually really kind of wasn't. So I guess the premise of the panel is, which do we like better? Which is the future of science fiction in our world? Is it the bright, shiny, optimistic vision of the future as presented by Gene Roddenberry, or is it the darker, grittier vision of outer space as presented by BattleStar Galactica? We love them both, right?
One went for 10 years, one went for 4. I think there's your winner right there.
Carlos, jump in here anytime.
I think it's amazing. I've actually been on Voyager, and I'm currently on BattleStar. And I don't think one would exist without the other in a lot of ways. I mean, you have to remember that Star Trek paved the way for so much work. If you look at I think Jamie and Aaron back me up on this. So Richard, Ron Moore, is one of the best Star Trek writers that was ever out there. So to make it out is like some kind of form of competition where I can tell you that I've watched every incarnation of Star Trek. I've watched every movie. My dad is in 3 casts of Star Trek. I mean, to make it out as though it's a competition of sorts is like the strangest thing, because what it is television has changed, the audience has changed, people have changed so much. And as the audience has got smarter and adopted, next generations from the previous incarnation, Deep Space Nine, everything moved. And now we've got the ability to put more and more into our stories. I don't think it's any competitive narrative.
No, and I've heard that Battleship Galactica.
I'd add to that. I like to live in a world where there's room for both. When after the end of a long work week and it's Friday night and you don't feel like going out, I'm definitely in the mood for Battlestar Galactica. On Saturday morning, when I wake up and the whole weekend lies before me, I'm very much more in a Star Trek mood. And with the world we live in today, we can use some optimism, and I think that's one of the enduring qualities of Star Trek. Where we stand today is a crossroads about, well, where do you take that, if you'll pardon the expression, in the future? Where does Star Trek go from here? And is there stuff that you can learn from the success of Galactica? And I think, for me, I think one of the greatest lessons is that if you give writers room to explore, experiment, push the envelope, you can get something with the quality of Battlestar Galactica that preserves the optimism of Star Trek. It's all about the writing.
I just wanted to say that, it's very, very hard. First of all, Star Trek has nothing to apologize for. They have done something extraordinary. I don't think that any other series, sci-fi show, doesn't matter what it is, has ever accomplished. And I have to admit it, I was a huge Star Trek fan. I grew up with that, so. But I will say that, like so many other companies, they start out small, they're innovative, they're creative, they're open to new ideas, and then as they grow, become more successful, they start to play it more safe, they stop taking chances, and they, in a sense, kind of turn in on themselves, and the air gets stale because they don't allow for fresh ideas, they get too rigid about what the possibilities are. And Ron Moore, who was, you've seen, is an extraordinary writer-producer, obviously, got let go with Star Trek, and maybe because the ideas were too fresh, innovative, he wanted to bring some new energy to that. I'm so thankful that, when they put together the new Battlestar, that they brought in, I mean, how many times have they brought back a great show and destroyed it? Here they brought in one of the most phenomenal writer-producers in the business to help reimagine Battlestar. So, but again, it's very hard to not let success do you in. When you are successful, you stop doing the things that got you there.